The Wolf Trap, written by Sean of Sarna.net, the greatest wiki there is. Read by Shrapnel. "There's nothing wrong with it," Chewy Yoshida Dayu shouted.
"I disagree,"
countered Shui Tadano Malloy.
"It bears the mark of the enemy."
"The word wolf does not belong to House Davian, nor the Lyrans, nor anyone else in the Inner Sphere. Not even the damnable clans can claim an entire species, let alone its moniker." Malloy brushed away his commanding officer's points.
"I shall not dishonour the dragon by riding into battle in this filth."
"It's not filth!" Exasperation punctured by Chewie's words. "It has the exact same movement profile and armament as the new CN-9D Centurions."
"I will take a Centurion then."
Dayu rolled his eyes, as if riding into battle like an ancient Roman soldier is somehow more befitting a samurai.
"Yet the Romans at least fought with a similar sense of honour, not like the Davian dogs and their Wolfhounds."
Chewie raised a finger. "Which is entirely why it's called the Wolf Trap. It is to trap the very wolves that hound you."
Clever wordplay cannot obscure this mech's inspiration, nor can its state-of-the-art design tempt me into dishonour.
Chewie steadily replied.
"If this mech is the only one available, I will wait for the new shipment of Grand Dragons from Luthien."
"This is not a hovercar rental agency. The dragon commands its soldiers, and the dragon requires each of its soldiers to wield the most powerful armaments available, regardless of his name or what its cockpit assembly looks like." There was silence between the two of them for a moment. Then,
"I will not disobey the dragon, but neither will I sully my honour."
Chewie Malone knelt before his commanding officer and drew his wacky zazzle. "What are you doing?" Dayu first asked in disbelief, but soon his expression changed to alarm at what was about to happen in the middle of the mech bay. "Chewie, I order you to stop." Heedless of Chewie's words, Malloy plunged the blade into his guts. Thankfully, the dragon's healthcare plan had extended coverage for self-inflicted knife wounds incurred during attempts at honourable suicide. Chewie Malone's protest was noted, but upon his return to active duty, the wolf trap was still there waiting for him. Malloy's wacky zazzy, however, was not returned. By all technical measures, the wolf trap was the absolute pinnacle of Draconis arms manufacturing at the height of the clan invasion. It used then cutting-edge technology, such as endosteel, extra-light engines, and cellular ammunition storage to both save weight and save its pilots to fight the dragon's enemies, even if the mech suffered a catastrophic ammo hit. For a 45-ton, the wolf trap was fast, heavily armed, and sufficiently armoured to take more punishment than most mechs in the same weight class. It was relatively cheap to build, easy to maintain, and used off-the-shelf components shared with many other common DCMS designs. By all accounts, the Wolf Trap should have been a runaway success for Luthien Armour Works and the Draconis Combine. And yet, the vast majority of Draconis Combine mustered soldiery mech warriors would revile the machines after less than a decade of service. That animosity could be tracked back to a single, unfortunate design flaw and the natural tendency for militaries, even armies as tightly constrained as the DCMS, to run wild with rumours and hearsay. During the Fourth Succession War, the Draconis Combine mustered soldiery suffered heavy losses at the hands of what was then an entirely new mech, the Wolfhound. Small, swift, powerfully armed, and heavily armoured for a light mech, the Wolfhound was able to engage Kiritan Panthers and Jenners with impunity, suffering far fewer casualties than its rivals. It wasn't until the War of 3039 that the Draconis Combine managed to capture a few examples and transport them to Luthien for reverse engineering. Unwilling to outright copy the design, knowing that its soldiers would be loathed to pilot a mech so heavily associated with the Federated Commonwealth, Luthien Armour Works instead opted to use elements of the Wolfhound's design to create the Wolf Trap. The resulting mech bore almost no resemblance to the mech that spawned it. The Wolf Trap is 10 tons heavier, carries a mixed armament of ammunition and energy-based weapons, and has a similar movement profile. The distinctive cockpit is perhaps the only cosmetic resemblance shared. Had the wolf trap been used in its intended role, hunting and destroying the Wolfhound, it probably would have gone down as one of the finest mechs ever to roll off the assembly line at Luthien Armor Works. Instead, the clans invaded, and the wolf trap was pressed into service against a vastly superior foe. Although the wolf trap used the best technology the Innosphere had to offer at the time, the clans were simply better in every measurable metric. Key to the wolf trap's destruction was the clan ERPPC, which could penetrate the right or left shoulder of the wolf trap in a single blow to damage or outright destroy the fragile XL engine found therein. Furthermore, the wolf trap stored all of its ammunition in a single bin in the right torso. Although Case kept the pilot alive, a hit to the ammunition was still consistently catastrophic to the wolf trap's engine, resulting in clan mech warriors specifically targeting the wolf trap's right side. Once reports of the wolf trap's fragility made it back behind the front lines, rumours abounded that the mechs somehow inherited a cleverly concealed flaw that the Davians deliberately designed to sabotage anyone who tried to copy the Wolfhound. Combined with true reports of wolf traps being slaughtered wholesale in House Kurita's fight against the clan Smoke Jaguar and Novacat, the wolf trap was forever tainted. Originally called the Torah, Luthien Armor Works was forced to rechristen the design to match its FedCom reporting name in order to distance its association with Combine tradition, a move which only further alienated the wolf trap from potential pilots. The wolf trap debuted in 3051, but quickly found itself a pariah. Even an acceptable showing during the defense of Luthien wasn't enough to redeem the wolf trap in the eyes of the DCMS mech warriors. Despite its innovations, the wolf trap could never distance itself enough from both its origins and its combat record, with the DCMS officially ending procurement of the design after just 10 years of production. For those willing to endure the dishonour of sitting in its cockpit, the wolf trap was a capable medium mech, at least on paper. In the right arm, an Imperator Code Red LB-10X autocannon, built under license and the same one found in the Akuma Assault Mech and the Tokugawa Heavy Tank. In the center torso, the tried and true Shigunga LRM-10. In the left torso, twin medium lasers provided close-in defense. 7.5 tons of armor matched the Wolfhound, and the Hermes 270 XL engine helped propel the wolf trap to a running speed of 97 kph. It is precisely the same movement and armament of the CN-9-D Centurion, although the wolf trap was both lighter and cheaper to build than a brand new Centurion. Although the wolf trap's production run was short, so few mech warriors wanted to pilot the machine that the Draconis Combine had warehouses full of the mech by the time of the Word of Blake launched its deadly Jihad. Desperate for material, the DCMS pressed these older mechs into service and authorized Luthien Armor Works to develop an upgrade package. Produced on the world of Appy Addy, the WTH-2 replaces the Imperator autocannon with a plasma rifle, the Shigunga LRM launcher with an MML-9, and the 2 medium lasers with 3 extended-range medium lasers. Additionally, 3 light machine guns are linked in a machine gun array and its heat sinks are upgraded to double models. Another Jihad-era variant was the WFT-2B, nicknamed the Bear Trap. Based on the WFT-2X, produced by supervising technician Akihisa Inoue, the WFT-2B came armed with an Imperator Dragon's Fire Gauss rifle and 2 diverse optics Type 25PX medium X-pulse lasers. It also upgrades its cooling system to double heat sinks and improves the wolf trap's protection with 8 tons of new Samarkand Royal ferrofibrous armor. Wolf traps also found their way into the Word of Blake. Salvaged WFT-1s were converted to the words WFT-B model, which replaced the LRM-10 with an LRM-5 in order to make room for an improved C3 computer. An extra half-ton of armor provided slightly more protection. Similarly, old WFT-1s that could be upgraded to WFT-2 standards were often given the WTF-C field conversion package, which instead removed one of the medium lasers to fit a C3 slave unit. The fierce fighting of the Jihad eliminated most of the DCMS's stores of wolf traps. Today, the DCMS fields more capable, fully homegrown designs such as the Avalanche and new variants of the Panther. These mechs have no shortage of eager warriors willing to risk their lives in defense of the Combine. A wolf trap found today would not only be a relic of a bygone era, but more than likely an abandoned mech, unloved and forgotten by a cruel inner sphere. Hello Mech Jogs, Shrapnel here. Well guys, what can I say? The wolf trap. I've never played one or faced one yet, but listening to its capabilities, I'm going to give it a go. Luckily, I have the perfect opponent in mind. He's a Wolfhound pilot and obsessed with the damn thing, so we can play it narratively. If you want in on the action, simply drop a comment below on who you think will win, and I'll report back to you soon. I just want to say a massive thank you to Nick, Sean, and all the volunteers at Sarna.net. Head on over there now and show them some love. Did you know they did swag? No, me neither. If you want to get your actuators on some sweet swag from them, then the link is in the description below. Alas, as our time draws to an end, all that is left for me to say thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this, give a thumbs up, drop a comment below and hit subscribe for more tales as they come out. So until next time Mech Jogs, stay safe out there and remember, no guts, no galaxy.